afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Young Voices Forum, your platform for engaging in meaningful discussions about the issues that matter most to young people. Today, we are shifting our gear to students' politics. We will explore the good, the bad, and the ugly side of student politics. This conversation couldn't have come at a better time than now, as elections have recently taken place in numerous tertiary institutions across the country. In this episode, we will delve into how student politics shapes the policies and programs of educational institutions and the role it plays in grooming the leaders of tomorrow. And we will examine the growing trend of partisanship within student politics and try best strategies for a more vibrant student politics devoid of partisanships and external influences. Joining us today for this insightful discussion are student leaders from the University for Development Studies. But before I introduce our panelists, let's take a short break.
Hi, my name is Kwestanifi and I play the role of Emily in the YOLO TV series. For accurate information and support on contraception, pregnancy, and other sexual and reproductive health issues, call the Agoshi Plus toll-free line 5100 for MTN and 0800001122 for all networks. Good life, live it well. Good life, it's an everyday thing. YOLO, you only live once.
You only live once. Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is the Young Voices Forum, and today we are discussing student politics in Ghana, exploring the prospects, challenges, and the way forward. To help us in the discussion are Hussein Rukaya, SRC President for Tamale Campus, and Abdallah Swad, SRC President for UDS Nyankpala Campus. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
And congratulations once again.
Thank you.
You guys made history. So let's dive right into the conversation. How did the journey to becoming a student leader go for you?
Unlike any other journey, it's not always smooth. It has its ups and downs, even though this came with a special challenge that has to do with me being a lady. You know, the gender aspect played a role. At some points, it was negative. At some points, it's played in my favor. But all the same, we were able to maneuver our way to take advantage of the positive aspects and then find a way to deal with the negative aspects as well. You know, most people have this perception that this is a male-dominated, this is a place where leadership is meant for males and all that. So it was difficult speaking to get people's mind to it that, okay, now why don't you look out for a different thing? Why don't you go in for a change? You know, so instead of campaigning, you spend most of your time trying to convince people why they should go in for a lady instead of a guy. I mean, among 4 gentlemen, I was the only lady, so we were 5, you know, so it was kind of really difficult for me to get through. But then at some point in time, probably we'll get to that, and it's turned out to be positive for me. Yeah.
Swad.
Thank you for the opportunity. There are a lot of similarities with our journey because it was just the same time. The election came off at the same time, and then same university but different campuses. And it was also more channeled to the femininity aspect because people, whenever you just come out to present yourself, the only thing they see is you being a female, not maybe you being competent or capable of achieving whatever you think you can achieve. So as you mentioned, you first have to explain how you can actually do it or why we should even consider you in the first place. And my campus too, in a way, that one was also another disadvantage because there are a lot of rumors that they gave a lady a chance, as they always say, but she didn't meet up to expectations. So now it's not just about why should we consider a female, but what did the female do earlier and what are you coming to do different? So it's made it a bit challenging to convince people before you now even come to, okay, so even if we consider you, what will you bring on board? And the other questions will now follow. Yeah.
So what motivated you to, engage in student politics and pursue a leadership role in your school? Is it something that you had in mind before you went to the university, or you got to the campus and then something came up and you decided that, well, I think I want to do student politics?
Okay, so since I went to UDS, I've always been interested in who becomes our next leader, even though I didn't imagine probably I'll be the next leader. But then I've always been very active to know who I'm going to vote for and then who we are going to rally behind to select to lead us, starting from the department level. Of all since I went to UDS, all my department presidents, I think I've actively campaigned for them. But then I never thought of myself probably even contesting for a position or anything. So just last year, as I was curious about who I should vote for, I joined the campaign team and then I decided to help a presidential candidate. So somehow along the line, I became his running mate to go into the contest. So we prepared ourselves and went in for voting and all of that. So we went into the elections, but unfortunately, we couldn't make it. So after everything, I now became a part of his team, kind of one. So we sat down to, after everything, you need to sit down and know what you did well, what you didn't do well, what you can do better next time and all that. But then they didn't feel like there was a need for us to end it there because we had something to achieve. We had policies that we wanted to roll out. And right now that we do not have that power, that means that we can do very little. So why don't we try again? Even though he had another chance to contest, but after making our assessments and all that, I said I would go in for it. Even though it was just it's something I didn't really take too serious, as in we're just having a conversation. And I said, okay, then I'll go in for it. And they all supported. I was like, oh, I'm even joking. They're like, no, you go in for it. So that was how it started. So they believed in me. Probably I didn't see what they were saying at first. Then I got to realize that at the end of the day, it was worth giving it a try as we went into the main contest. So we started. We had some things that we wanted to achieve. So let's say that how can we polish those things up? And then how can we win so that we can actually implement these things that we want to do? And that was the motivation. So simply, I was just campaigning for someone and then I developed interest in leading myself.
Okay. Sword.
Okay, on my side too, yeah, from the onset, I never saw myself going in for any particular office. Though I was, should I say, interested in these political stuff and campaigning, student leadership activities and all that. Level 100 too, I was also supporting someone to contest, but unfortunately the person lost. And yeah, because of my interest in during their campaign, they also felt like, okay, maybe when after our time is over, we can also come out. But I wasn't really paying much attention to them at that time. But I have a mentor to even before coming into the university who has also been mentoring me in other aspects of my personality. So he also brought this idea up that why don't you go in for it? And hearing it from him kind of qualified the whole thing because he is the one I look up to, mentoring me and all that. So when he brought it, I was like, oh, okay, then you are there, you've experienced everything, and then you are also pushing me to go in for it. Then I have, should I say, a backbone, someone I can rely on. And yeah, from there I started building connections around myself, building the momentum. So the academic year came up and we had to go in for the elections. We started active campaigning. So yeah, initially I wasn't also interested, but we had to build it up along the line, and then here we are as the SRC president.
You both have very interesting journeys, and I think they are quite similar for both of you. So now, what is the main idea behind student politics, and the role that student leadership plays in the administration of school at the tertiary level. I'll start with you,
Okay. So basically, the students' leadership is, as we say, to serve as the mouthpiece to the students in general, because we can't have everyone coming up to complain or kind of seek redress to whatever the student body is going through. We definitely need someone or a group of people who we can channel our issues to. And the university authorities or management, all right, they are there, they are working in the interest of the students, but there are other critical issues they have to attend to as well. They can't always only focus on the students' issues. So if the student leadership is there and is actively working in favor of the student body, these challenges will rather be directed to the student leadership, that's the SRC leadership, to be addressed. And if it needs a broader support, it now moves further to the university authorities. So the student leadership is just there to serve as the front of the face of the student body, basically.
Okay, want to add something?
Yes. So like she said, the students' leaders are the mouthpiece of the students. In every institution, they have challenges, there are grievances that we want to address. However, every student cannot just get up and go to administration to report as an individual, as a group, and all that. It has to pass through the students' leadership. And it is also the students that lives with their colleague students. So sometimes they better understand issues very well. It is easy for a student leader who is equally a student to understand what his or her colleague students are going through rather than management. Management can always sit down to assume that, okay, I was a student and I faced this, this is how I can address it. Or they can assume that, okay, we think our students face this and that. But then the student leader is equally a student and is experiencing what any other student is experiencing. So they better understand their challenges and then probably have better ways of addressing them. So I can say that the student leaders are just like the name, the representative council that represent the student body at the administrative level to ensure that our challenges and our grievances are addressed and all that.
So, how has student politics influenced the policies and programs of your school over the years? Do you have any specific something that you can point to and say it's as a result of student politics, that is why we have this, or that is why we're able to do that?
Yes. Student leaders are not just there because they voted them. Of course, we select our leaders to represent us, right? We have some expectations. We have something that we want them to do for us. And then, so whatever they are doing, it should be in the interest of the students. So whatever policies or program that the school wants to roll out or do, we have the Student Representative Council, that is the SRC president, as part of the University Council, where major decisions of the university are taken. And just last year, over the past years, as a student, you have to pay your school fees before you can even get access to register your courses and all that. But just last year, through our then SRC president, Panyankala Campus, who was the central president, and so he represented the students at the University Council. I think now, if you pay 50% of your school fees, you can register your courses. And it's as a result of his inputs, when he goes for the meeting, this is what our students have been complaining about. So he was able to represent us very well. And the university management heard our plea, and then they granted us that. So it's through the students' leadership that now you have our students pay 50% of their school fees. Then they can get access to register their courses and write exams and all that. So it's actually helping in shaping the university policies. Since we have the students representative there, to also contribute his or her ideas and, discussing these policies and even rolling them and even implementing them as well.
Okay. Yeah, so
Yeah, so as you mentioned, just our immediate predecessor, even with this, initially even after you pay 70% or less and you still want to register, you have to go through a lot of bureaucracies, write letters and all that before you can register. But now with this 50%, as soon as you make payment, you can just register without passing through any long processes. And I think some years ago, on your campus, Tamale campus, one of the SRC presidents was also able to procure buses for the SRC.
Okay. So, reflecting on, previous administrations, previous SRC presidents and, their cabinets, would you say that they've lived up to expectation?
Well, they've done their best, and yeah, they've done their best. We can't say they didn't, because every leader or every SRC leader comes with a new set of challenges they face. And but one thing we always fail to realize is, after a particular SRC president or a particular leader has ended his or her tenure of office, the next to succeed actually needs to, should I say, approach this leader. Okay, these are the challenges you face. So how do you think, or what would you have done differently if you were given another chance? I think if we go by that, we will be able to build upon the challenges and then we will make progress. Else, every administration will always come up and then come out and, should I say, complain of the same challenges and then give the same recommendations without really coming close to support the new administration. So if we're able to work on that aspect, I think we will be able to see a new set of change. But with the challenges, every leader faces challenges, and they've also done their best. They've lived up to expectations. Yeah. But there's a lot more that can be done.
Okay. Does the office of the SRC, does it come with any monetary benefits? Do you get any allowances?
Yes, I'll say we get some kind of support to facilitate our movements and all that. I'm here in the name of the SRC president, even though I may not capture it as part of the things that I've done. But being an SRC president comes with a whole lot of sacrifices. You get to travel, you get to do this and that. And then sometimes you just get something small to support you, because you are not going it in the name of yourself, you are going in the name of the school. Yes, and it's not everywhere that you go and then, okay, we invited you, so for that matter, we should take care of your transport and all that. So just get a little support, to aid in those kind of movements and any other thing that you may have to do. I think that is it.
Okay, so you are not, you don't get any allowances like monthly, you don't get wardrobe allowances, you don't get, some monthly allowances for groceries or anything?
No, because for transportation, communication, and all that.
That you don't have any monthly allowance for
No,
groceries
no.
or even for wardrobe? Because people say you guys get wardrobe allowance.
I think other schools at others, but not in VDS. Yes.
Okay. So I'm asking because people say that when you get into student politics, it is to, enrich yourself. Of course, there are some huge benefits that come into it, and not necessarily because, you care about the students' affairs and all of that. How do you respond to critics who say stuff like that?
Well, I'll say that to enrich yourself, it may come in a different way. Maybe there is a perception that you want to enrich yourself regarding monetary stuff, but there are other ways that you can enrich yourself. You can, add value to yourself, and through your networks and all that, that you get to benefit from other opportunities rather than just the monetary. So, when you are going into and when you are in an office, sometimes you just have to serve wholeheartedly. Whatever benefits that will come, will come. But if you are going in with the perception that you are going to get this, get that, get this money and all that, at the end of the day, you are going to lose your reputation. And then you are not going to have any respect from your students and all that. And these recommendations that sometimes even get us bigger opportunities. When you come to my school and you ask our students and they tell you, oh, though she was the SRC president, but she did this and that, they talk negatively about me. Probably you are presenting a bigger opportunity that is more than the 100 cedis that I spent, and the students are displeased with that, right? So the thing is, we are here to serve them, And then any other opportunity that may come, maybe through the people that we get to meet because we hold that particular position. Maybe we can benefit from it in one way or the other, but not to take money. You can't even take money from the SRC coffers without having a tangible reason. Before you do a programming or any project, you need to come out with a budget and then to be scrutinized and pass through management before you get it. So you don't get up to take monies out there.
Okay. So, how about you? Did you at any point did you feel that people were saying that, oh, maybe Swag just wants to get into student politics because of money? Did you encounter anything like that?
Oh, yeah, some people came up with, should I say, theories that, to use our money to go and get married and all that.
And where was that coming from?
From the same students, from just our colleagues, from people we sit in the same class.
But of all the things you could use the money for, why were they assuming you use the money to get married?
Well, I don't know.
I mean that's oddly specific. So I am really surprised. I mean, they didn't say so I don't use our money to buy a car, so I don't use our money to do travel out of the country. It was marriage.
Nah, yeah.
That was oddly specific. That's why I'm curious.
Someone also was specific, but he was actually like, they've been trying the men, so at least even if they give me the opportunity and then I use their money to buy clothes and then be posting on TikTok, it's enough.
Wow.
Yes. But usually when I encounter such people with such thoughts, the first thing I ask them is, so how do they want our challenges to be addressed? Just as I started, the SRC serves as the front or the face of the student body. So let's say we are facing challenges on campus. For instance, there's this school fees reform that was done by our predecessor. Let's say there was no SRC president, and we are all facing that challenge. We are facing challenge in paying our school fees. And even if you're able to pay that amount, you still have to go through all those processes. So if there is no SRC president, who will handle that for us? Who will send our grievances out there for us? But here is the case, we need someone to represent us. And we can't just go about appointing someone just randomly to serve as the SRC president. Obviously, we need to go in for elections, vetting and elections before we can choose who our leader will be. So if someone is presenting him or herself because he feels like I can solve these challenges, why should we be like, oh, we are here for the money? For the other benefits, as you mentioned, definitely it will come. I'm not sure if I didn't present myself and if I did not win this SRC presidency, I would have been called here for this interview. And in a way, it gives credit to myself and it gives me more opportunities out there. So yes, those benefits and those opportunities will come, but that is not our focus. Our focus is the primary reason why we came for this office, to serve the student body. And the others are secondary, which we know definitely they will come.
So in what specific ways, has your involvement in student politics shaped your personal growth or, enhanced your leadership skills?
Well, it has greatly shaped my personality. I would say some years or even a year or 2 years down the line, probably I couldn't have even faced the camera to talk or even maybe approach a lecturer or someone so ahead of me to express myself. But coming out for this office, I realized that you have to put everything aside. You have to build yourself very well, your confidence, how you speak, how you carry yourself and all that. And network aspect to it has really built my network. Though we just won the elections, but so far meeting new people trying to know you, contact you for other opportunities and other programs and projects as well. So though I'm not there yet, I'm still building, I'm still growing and developing, but so far it has greatly impacted me personally.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would say that the experiences and all that the moments you think of even contesting, because day in, day out, you get to meet a whole lot of people with different backgrounds, different behaviors, and sometimes you just wonder where some people are coming from. because the way and manner they talk to you, how they approach you, and all that, it's very annoying. Yes, but you have to take sometimes. You understand? Like someone will bluntly tell you in your face that you're not going to win, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know, the only thing you can do is to speak to yourself that okay, I'm going to win. You know, just something to keep you going. They intentionally provoke you in the midst of other people so that you fall for it and people get to see the negative aspect of you and all that. So all these things are skills that I've learned because you can't do anything as you wish. Maybe sometimes you wish you could just slap someone, but you cannot because people will see you. Because the kind of words they say to you, the kind of attitude they give you, you know, especially your colleague leaders. I'm definitely inboxing you because I need you to help me with my campaign. You know, you can text her like title ladies. Just you introduce yourself, you tell them why you are texting them and all that. And trust me, you get less than 5 people to respond to you. You know, if you don't have this any special skill, you know, to hold yourself up, you can even lose interest in the whole thing because you feel like, okay, nobody's even minding me. Why should I continue? And all that. So I'm talking about my personality, my behavior, and how I'm able to tolerate these kind of people has shaped me, and I know it is even going to help greatly in future. And then talking about communication and how to approach people and all that. Initially, you wouldn't see me talking, and even most people want ask how do you do it because they know I don't even talk. So how did I manage to speak to? You know, we have a population of 18,000 plus, even though not everybody took part in the elections, and I didn't get to meet everyone, but I make sure to reach at least 90% of the students. But how do you speak to them and then convince them to vote for you? Because your opponents were, you know, they were not just any opponent. There wasn't any single day that you wake up and you feel like, okay, today I am leading. Is you do something today, the next day you neutralize it. You know, so it's something that was really, like, let's say, a course on its own. You see, in the midst of 4 guys, some were even my seniors, level 500 and all that, but I'm just in level 300. So if not for maybe some of these skills that shaped me to know how to go about things, to convince students, to speak to them convincingly in order to rally behind me, I'm not sure I would have been here today. Yeah.
All right, so if you just joined us, this is the Young Voices Forum, and today we are talking about student politics in Ghana, the good, the bad, and even the ugly. We are going for a quick break. When we come back, the conversation continues.
Charlie, what's up? My name is Odenche. Some of you call me mini sharpshooter, but make I give you brotherly advice. For all your sexual reproductive health rights information, counseling and referral services, call the Agushi Plus helpline on toll-free numbers 5100 on MTN or 0800 001122 on all networks. Be assured of your confidentiality. Agushi Plus helpline, we there for you. Good life is an everyday thing. Good life, live it well. YOLO, you only live once. Peace out.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, we are talking about student politics today, and we are privileged to have 2 SRC presidents from the UDS campuses in the studio with us today. If you have any questions or comments, kindly leave them in the comment section and we'll address them when we have the time. So yeah, before we went on break, you were talking about some connections that come as a result of the office that you hold. Prior to winning the elections, did you have the political parties reaching out to you, wanting to partner with you to support your campaign and all of that? Did you get any of that?
Not at all. Not at all. This election was fully funded by, I would say, family. And then along the line, I got in touch with one of my mentors, Haji Ali Matitajido, who also sponsored in a way. and just some few people as well who sponsored in their own way, but majorly it was funded by family.
Okay, so you didn't have any political party, wanting to, partner and support. Okay.
Well, I reached out to some individuals in the mainstream politics, but then I didn't get any response, even though I had a support from someone, okay, Hajia Abibata, Maslog CEO. Yes, she's also a parliamentary candidate for Yendi, but it wasn't as a result of any political plan. We're from the same place. I'm from Yendi, so she came in to support.
As per you are from the same city.
Well, prior to the elections, she's someone I consider as my mentor. And then we used to have conversations about the elections and all that. So most of the times that, even though when I started, it was just friends and maybe classmates and all that. But prior to the elections, the whole thing, and even on the elections day and everything that went into it, it was from her. Yes, so, but it wasn't maybe any political something that she's coming, maybe this political party has supported or all that. She just came in to support. Yeah.
Okay. So, roughly, how much would you say you spent on your campaign?
Let's say 20,000.
About 20,000.
Yes, almost.
And this was funded by friends and well wishers.
Yes, and let's say 50% by Hajia Abibata.
Oh, okay. Then she really supported you heavily.
Yes.
Okay. So what about you, Swan?
Saying about 20,000, because we started this. The election, the expenditure that is not just during
the election. Yeah.
That's way back. So if you have to really compute everything from day one, the airtimes, bundles,
like the flyers, the graphic design,
banners, and all.
You can't really no.
Okay. All right. So student politics, particularly the NUCs and SRC elections, they've been characterized by partisanship. What do you think are the factors contributing to this trend?
Well, I would say, usually with this our national politics or our national politicians, they always look out for numbers. They want where there are more numbers, where more voices can be heard, or where you can easily get people to protest for any particular thing. And you can't take out the universities if you are looking for numbers. So usually they feel like, okay, if we want to get through the students or want to penetrate through to the students, we need the head, because you can't just come and look for anyone randomly to support or to push for whatever you want to be done. So the ideal way is to rather support your own person to come out, and when the person needs, the person can easily push your agenda. So in that sense, if anyone they feel like, oh, this person is affiliated to our party, or we've been with this person from the constituency level or whichever level, it's easier for us to work with you when you win. So they cannot mobilize resources to push such a person. So I would say that's one thing that greatly influenced the involvement of this our mainstream politicians and students leadership of student politics.
Rukaya, do you view the presence of partisanship in student politics as positive or detrimental to development?
Well, I think it's detrimental to national development and even the development of the university. Yes, because most of the time when you are contesting, I receive that questions. There were several instances that students asked, so which political party are you affiliated to? So that probably they can weigh the resources that you have at your disposal before they decide to support you or not. But I think this is not the right thing, and it shouldn't be encouraged. If you are supporting me or if you want me to be your leader, it should be based on what I can do for you and what I'm bringing on board as a student leader. but not because I belong to this political party or not. So you realize that at the end of the day, most people will support candidates blindly. They don't even care what policies they have in place. They don't care what the leader is coming to do for them. All they care is, okay, it's from the top. Maybe I belong to NDC, and because the NDC national or regional something has called and asked me to support this person, I am supporting that person based on that. They don't even care whatever that the person is coming to do for them. So I think this shouldn't be encouraged. And even though it didn't play any role in my campaign, because I didn't present myself as any candidate from any of the political parties. Yeah, I just go do things my own way, even though most things ask. And I think probably they just want to know what resources you have so that they can decide to support you or not. Because at the end of the day, everybody has an interest. Maybe if you belong to a party that is in power, probably you have more resources. Maybe when they follow you, they can get something. They just want to test what you have and to see what they can also benefit from you even before you win. So probably that's the reason most students are doing that. But it doesn't really play a key role in it, as it didn't play any role in my campaign.
Okay. How about you, Swat? Do you think it's detrimental or it's okay?
Well, it's detrimental. Building on what you said, usually students or we feel if we push this person to win, like we won't get access to the person again. So whatever resources or whatever money we can put before you win the election, we will do that. So I remember since last year when I started making my intent a bit public to my immediate people, some of them will ask, are you affiliated to any of these political parties on campus? And if no, how are you going to work around building connections with them and all that? And it's majorly because of that, because people feel like there should be money. Since you are coming out to contest, you need to have money before you'll be able to win or get the people to support you. And also, usually when, let's say, there are issues, as I mentioned earlier, our politicians always want the leadership to tune into whatever they want. So if we have a leader and then we are going through something that is very worrying to us or affecting the student welfare, and probably if our leaders are able to advocate very well on the national platform for whichever opportunity they have, it will really go a long way. But because the leadership or the leaders are in line with one particular party, it will make it very difficult for them to come out and defend the students. They will always try to, instead of going straight to the point, they will always try to get a neutral ground, not really tackling the issues itself, and it will always come back to affect you, the students on campus.
Okay. So someone is asking that what strategies can be implemented to preserve the integrity and impartiality of student politics within our tertiary institutions?
Well, I would say it just boils down upon us, because regardless of how our mainstream politicians are trying to influence our student elections and choice of leaders, we are still the ones to vote. We have the right to think on our own. We have our own conscience. So regardless of whichever MP or whichever regional executive from any political party coming to campaign for the students, you are with the students on campus, and you know the integrity or the credibility of whoever is presenting him or herself. So it's up to you to make the choice, not really focusing on what they are coming to say. Because after they leave, that's all. And we can't come and, present policies to actually stop our mainstream politicians from involving in this student elections. The only way is we, the students, knowing who is best for us and then choosing who we think can really develop the student body. That's the basic way we can go about it.
Okay. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I think in order for us to have integrity and impartiality regarding our student leadership and politics, one thing we can do is at all costs to try monetizing it. Because imagine as a student leader, you spend so much money in getting that position. Obviously, most people's minds are okay. The moment you get into the office, the first thing you are going to do is to get your monies back. I mentioned 20,000 plus, and maybe I was like one of the candidates that spent the list, because going to programs and donating money and all that is not one of the things I did. Maybe the monies I spent was just on maybe transportation, fueling bikes to go and do campaign on communication, and then getting these banners done and all that. These are the main things that I spent my money on. But then I had my opponents, you could go to a church, a student, and then the students can donate 10,000, 5,000 to the church. So the first thing that comes to their mind is the moment you come into the office, you are taking your monies back. Because assuming we have about 6, 7 denominations, church denominations on campus. And then you go here, you give them 5,000, go here 10,000, go here, they want to build a church, you are giving them bags of cement and all that. I think it's actually doesn't speak well of us. You are coming to serve them. If they want you to serve them, they will vote for you. If they do not want you to serve them, probably they think there is another person that can do it better. You don't need to buy their votes. You don't need to try to monetize people. Maybe you are doing them a favor. Maybe if they elect you into the office, you are going to even have more impact on their lives, right? So it shouldn't be about, you shouldn't beg people to vote for you. Convince them, tell them what you can do for you. You shouldn't try to give them monies or do some favors that they will think so highly of you that when you come into the office, you can do. Trust me, when you come into the office, you can't use their monies for such purposes. It was coming from your own pockets. They will continue to have that kind of expectation. And they say, oh, since he was contesting, he donated this to the church. Ever since he won, he can't. The money is not for any church. It's not for any mosque. It's not for any particular group of students. You see? So in as much as we want to win the students, we want them to always keep us in mind and all that. I think there are other strategic things that we can put in place to, get the students to buy into our ideas, to better understand the policies that we want to implement, rather than monetizing it. Because as a student, if you should give a student this amount of money to vote for you, even when you win, they still come back to you and ask you for that money, right? And most students will want to get whatever they can get from you before you even go into the election, because they feel like once you win, they probably might not get the opportunity to get in touch with you. And that is a negative perception. Okay. After winning, you can still come with your problems and all that. That is the time that you have even signed up to be there for you. In the process of getting to win, you are just a candidate. You are not in that office yet. So how you address challenges is different from how you will address it when you are finally into the office. Because at that point in time, you are there for the students. And you don't have any excuse, unless otherwise there is something beyond what you can actually do. So in as much as we want to win, let's try our best possibly to stop monetizing students' elections. Yes, there are groups of students that you go to them to ask for their support, and they'll charge you. You are charging me as a leader, and then they are the same people that will expect you to be transparent when you win, when they themselves are not honest people, because they will go out there and make it look like they are voluntarily doing the work for you, but in actual sense, you paid them to do the work. So I paid you for your services. So when I win, you don't need my services. Probably you have to pay me before I attend to you. Should that be the case? No. So if you want to help someone, you do it voluntarily. And when they win, you know that you actually help them, so that when they are there, they can also help you in a way that they can, according to maybe the challenges that you face. But I don't pay you for your service and then you later come back to ask for help. In that case, what if I also expect you to pay me? See that?
Swad. What's next for you after your time in the office? Are you looking to get involved in mainstream politics at maybe the community level or the national level?
For that, well, for now, I can't really say I will go into mainstream politics or not. There is a possibility I could go, and I may not go. There are a lot of ways we can serve our people. We don't necessarily need to go into mainstream politics. Um, there are other philanthropists who are also really serving and making impact. So with that, for now, I can't say yes or no. It's really uncertain, but there's a possibility, a high possibility that I will further this.
Okay.
So this is a dicey question. Going into mainstream politics after this, maybe I will need time to build myself first. But maybe through learning and building myself, I could develop interest in that. But right now, what I'm passionate about is advocacy. That is what others love to do. Maybe through that, there are other ways to serve people, like she said, without going into mainstream politics. I do volunteer for lots of NGOs, and it is something that I don't wish to stop. Maybe through that, if I think that I can be able to do something when I have power, then maybe I will go into it to make sure that I get that power that I need to be able to function well. Yeah, but as it stands now, I'm not certain.
You're not certain. Okay, so what advice would you give to students who aspire to get involved in student politics in the future? Sometimes people get into spaces and they come out and they're like, you know what, I will not even advise my child to do this. So what would you say to someone that walks up to you and says, you know what, Swad, I am so inspired by all of the work you put into getting to where you are, and I think that I want to do student politics. What would you tell the person?
Well, you first have to really make your intentions clear why you are first of all going in for whatever office you want to go in for. And after your intentions are clear, you really need to build yourself, because you just can't get up, I'm going in for, let's say, as the president or whichever office, when you are not personally psyched, you're mentally psyched up, and you don't even have the capacity. As I mentioned earlier, public speaking initially was a big challenge, but I made a conscious effort to build upon it. Whichever slight best opportunity I get, I try to build upon it. So if you make your intentions clear, you build up yourself, your own personality, then you can be ready to start gathering, should I say, influence around yourself. And you should first of all take out, should I say, these personal benefits out, because for those ones, definitely they will come. But if you make that your focal point, you might end up not really getting there, because you feel like whatever opportunity or what, even if you don't really need to push much for it, you end up pushing, and then you might even look stupid, as you say. But if you really have the mind of serving the people at heart, the others will definitely come, and you don't really need to rush in for it. So you just need to be focused, build yourself. Because opportunities here, the opportunities will come, but when the opportunity comes and you're not prepared, you are not psyched up for it, it will be useless. But when the opportunity comes and then you are already ready, you're already built for it, you can go and then make everyone proud.
Okay.
So any day, any time, I will advise anyone that has interest in serving the students to go in for it. Yeah, at the end of the day, it is worth it. Though it needs some high level commitment. Because this thing is such a way that if you are not committed, if you don't make your mind to do it, you can't do it. Because you don't wake up today, you feel like doing it. The next day you wake up, you don't feel like doing anything. Your colleagues will go ahead of you. Sometimes you finish with your round, and then when you are going to sleep, you see your colleagues going, and you feel like, okay, let me call the team back, let's continue. Easy. So it needs commitment, and then honesty. Remember that you need to build some level of trust between yourself and the students before they will even give you the mandate to serve them. So if you are not being honest with them, if you go speaking to them and you are promising them heaven on earth, trust me, students, we are wise. Like these days, we don't really care about what this person is saying and all that. But trust me, we, try to think, is he really speaking the truth? And can he really do whatever he's saying that he can do and all that? If you are honest, if you are committed, and then you are willing to serve the people, any day, anytime, I'll advise anyone to do it. But then they should be careful, with the kind of people they bring on board to support them. It's not every help that is beneficiary. Sometimes those things come in, at the end of the day, they kind of, they are toxic to you. The support you receive, all right, but you shouldn't have received that. So just be careful of whatever support that you receive from people. Be committed, be honest, and then put in the work. You're going to get whatever that you're looking for.
Okay. Wow. It's been such an interesting conversation. I feel like there is so much that we need to get into, that you guys need to come in another day for us to continue this discussion. But then before we, wrap up, I just want to have your final words.
Okay, so first of all, I will just say thank you for this opportunity, for calling us to also share our experiences and our thoughts. And to our supporters from family, from my class, from my hall, colleague students, the general student body, I will say a very big thank you for trusting in me and then giving me this opportunity to serve you. And we have a lot of things we have a lot of things on mind, and you can't do it alone. You need a student body together to facilitate this process. And to my mentors out there, Haji Alima, Miss Khadija, Dr. Sedifita, a whole lot. I can't really mention all of them. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you for trusting in me as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so first of all, I thank you for the opportunity to share this platform with you today. And then I also like to thank all students of UDS. I like to thank management, our dean of students, our vice dean. They are very supportive, and I just want to thank them for always being there for us, the students leaders and the students at large. And then to the team, to everyone that supported, to Hajia Abibata, Marcelot CEO, and then my mentors. I can't mention everyone's name, Mustafa and everyone. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful for all that you've done for me. And I just want to say to the students that this is the time that we need you most to be able to execute our plans. We can't go out there and do anything if you are not behind us. Because whatever that we are going to do is going to be in your interest. If you are not supportive of it, I'm not sure it's going to be successful. So I'll still sit here and then use this platform to tell our students that just as they supported the rising agenda to win the elections, they should continue to support, because this is the time that we need them most. And I'm not going to be biased, and to any girl or any lady watching this, I just want to say that whatever that you want to do in life, regardless of where you are coming from, regardless of whatever, just put your mind to it. You are not alone. Ask for help if there is a need to, speak to people that you think can help you. And then just do whatever that your heart says you should do. As long as it's not going to hurt anyone, as long as it's going to add value to yourself, just go in for it. Do not be afraid of anything.
Okay. Do not be afraid of anything. That's powerful. Thank you very much, ladies, for making the time to be here today. We are very grateful. We know uneasy lies ahead that wears the crown, but you took time out of your probably very busy schedules to be here with us today, and we are very grateful. And congratulations once again. Thank you for shattering glass ceilings. I think because of you, a lot of us think that we can too. So today is this is where we are ending the show. Thank you very much for everybody who joined in the show. This is a reminder that this is supported by the USAID ASBC activity, and also this is also another reminder that our She Plus helpline, it's available 6 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. from Monday to Saturday. If you have any questions about your reproductive health and rights, we have trained counselors and health professionals who are available, who speak multiple local languages, and you can always call them on our toll-free line 0800 001122, 0800 Then you can have a conversation and ask all your questions. If there is a need to refer you, they would also refer you to the appropriate place to get all the care that you need. I also want to say a very big thank you to our executive producer, Etel Emefa Ella. Thank you very much for always being behind the scenes and ensuring that the Young Voices Forum always comes every Friday. Also, a very big thank you to the technical team, Kobna, Amin, Paul. We are very grateful for constantly staying behind the scenes and ensuring that this comes to viewers every Friday. And also, this program that is Subsign TV is powered by Bododo. Thank you very much for the support. So until we come your way, same time next week, my name is Rahel Erabina Enchi, and bye-bye.
Hi, my name is Anna Mampofa Bebio, and I play the role of Ariana in your favorite TV series, YOLO. Do you want to take control of your sexual reproductive health and rights? Let me introduce you to the Agoshi Plus Helpline. Agoshi Plus offers information on education, sexual reproductive health and rights, and counseling. Even if you need a referral to a health facility, a specialist or social justice institution, we've got you. Give us a call on our toll-free numbers 5100 on MTN and 0800 001122 on all networks. Call now and let's have that confidential, frank conversation. Good life, it's an everyday thing. Good life, live it well. YOLO, you only live once.